Cool. So we're gonna start off today reviewing two of the matches we had this past weekend. Big shout out to Blue Coast Grappling. They ran their inaugural event down in North Charlotte, and all in all, I think it went really well. I was really excited to be there. Of course, Mike and I had our spot at the commentary table. And I hope you guys tuned in and watched. From what I heard, everybody was pleased. So I hope you guys enjoyed our insight into some of these matches. This is good because now I could look at it with the some hindsight and pick it apart a little bit more than I could on the day of. So we're gonna start off with John. He had his match. I think it was like the third or fourth match of the day, so an early one. Let's get the footage pulled up. And let's get into it. His opponent opting to go full Nicky Rod here, while John is in the tank top. His opponent taking a pretty confident stance. Fairly upright, leaving his legs a little open, maybe not too worried about shots. I wasn't sure. I didn't see any footage on this guy ahead of time, so I wasn't sure what to make of him. And we see right off the bat he was bringing some wrestling to the equation. So, little quick duck under, very fast movement. John settles into bottom half guard. So his opponent opting to stand back up, which I don't know. I mean, he had wrist control there, so maybe he just wasn't too concerned with passing. And then a quick, I don't know if we ever talked about the rules, but these super fight matches were sub only, no points. If nobody submitted in regulation time, it went to ref's decision. There were a few early snafus where it went on to an overtime round where points were counted. That was only supposed to be for the absolute bracket. But I think on the day, we only had 5 matches go to a ref's decision out of, I want to say, like 20 something, maybe 24, 25 matches. So a bit of an upper body tangle here. Can't recall if we see another shot taken. I really like that setup on that his opponent pulled off here. So I would say John's getting a little complacent. John's comfortable on the ground here, and points don't matter. So in his mind, if I could put myself there, I'm thinking, go ahead, wrestle me. You get a takedown, spend some energy. It's fine. We'll get to the ground. John he's great on the ground, so I think he feels confident there even after getting taken down. His opponent opts for this upper body grip. He shoots for like, does he? I don't think he gets double unders here. Does he? Yeah, he's just got like the over under. But notice that big step his opponent takes to walk all the way around his opponent, all the way around John. He kind of cuts his angle, big hop, and gets it kind of like imparts momentum. Like this is something you'd see a lot in Greco-Roman wrestling, like big step and then follow through with the upper body, kind of like he's charging up his energy there. Boom, and then the takedown. He doesn't land past John's guard, which is good. So he's got to fight a little ways to get there. And again, I mean, for any of us who've rolled with John, he could be a tough one to hold down. So I don't think he was too concerned here. No points, being considered. So John opting to stand back up. My concern with that though is right now I think this guy's getting the best of John on his feet. So to stand back up and enter back into his world where, let's face it, even defending a stand-up game can be tiring. Being highly offensive in the stand-up can be tiring, but having to fight that can also sap some energy too. This isn't one-sided here as far as energy expenditure goes. Big head throw from his opponent. John looking for the reroll. His opponent slips out before he can get it. And then the other, you know, kind of, I guess the one benefit out of all the stand-up stuff for either guy, depending on which way it goes, you know, if there aren't a lot of submission attempts on the ground, then they're gonna, you know, refs are gonna look to who is the aggressor on the feet, whatever. So, you know, someone who's scoring the most takedowns is probably gonna get the nod if there are no real definitive submission attempts. Another variation here. Got an outside trip with this deep underhook. Leaves him kind of open to Uchimata's if John had his footing in a more, I don't know, I guess a reactive spot. Quick knee slide pass, settling into guard. I'm really curious what this guy's jiu-jitsu experience is, because he seems content to just hit takedowns and then hit takedowns and then get back up and work on the feet. He's not really doing much to try to pin and submit, you know. What's up, James? And even there, like, you know, John's standing up. I'm gonna say John is either being not careful or feels confident in his ability to fight off guillotines or front headlocks. You know, John's coming out leading with his head, standing back up, and this guy's really not making much of an attempt to lock in a guillotine or, you know, anything, any real front headlock. So I think he's comfortable with his stand-up game, but he could probably stand to improve on his ground game. He does kind of, yeah, he moves like a break dancer, like a 10th Planet break dancer, and a good wrestler. Another great duck under. He was super quick, very, very impressive movement. So now we got John's back exposed here. So he's looking for, this is kind of like a crossbody ride variation. Might do him better in wrestling. You see, he kind of gives up position there too. I mean, if I were him, I probably would have tried to continue on this power half that it looked like he was setting up. His right hand is just a little low there. Like, he's not going to get the power half grip. But we see here, you know, the diagonal control that he's trying to exert. He's got the left hip under control, left leg, and he's looking to get the right shoulder under control. Doesn't quite get the turn, and now John sees the opportunity. John turns 180, you know, 90 degrees maybe now, not 180. He's got back exposure with a hook in. He's got that left hook in. So he sees that, and John's quick to come up on it. Again, some more impressive movement. I gotta point it out. Can't fly past a back flipping guard pass. Little show tunes kick in there, and then a little back handspring to try to get past the guard. John put up a fight, and now we're in kind of a referee's position. Actually, exactly a referee's position, and he lets him up. Yeah, it was fun to see. What's up, Joe? How you doing, bro? Yeah, he absolutely, like, that was kind of the fun part of the commentary stuff, was like we had a little bit of background on like maybe some of our like Baker's opponents or his initial opponent before he pulled out. But we didn't really know much of the background of these guys, so kind of like getting onto the mat and seeing how they start training and then having to riff off that. That was fun. Doing a little tango there. Looking for the ankle pick. Didn't quite get John's posture broken down. You guys, this is why I yell at you guys. Let's see if I could catch it. He's got, see this angle here between his elbow and his ribs, right? That starts to open. Now he's got long limbs, so like he might be okay with that. Tall Joe, you'd probably be fine with that too. But I think if he was able to break John's posture down a little bit more, he could have caught John in a pretty nasty ankle pick. John concedes to a seated position. Yeah, exactly. Looking for a knee cut, but didn't really have the setup there. I can only assume that John's pretty confident about his back defense. Just because we have seen him give up his back here. Again, no worry about points. So it's, strategy changes a bit in that regard. And maybe even John felt that this guy wasn't really going for, like, he wasn't spamming submission attacks. So he's like, all right, whatever. I'll turn out of this and stand back up and try again. Good look at the referee's backside. So unfortunately, this was my view for some of the matches, not this one. Almost an Uchimata there. Then we unfortunately run out of the ending of this match. They only had about, let's see, 7 minutes. I think they had one more minute. And unfortunately, John did not get the best of this one. He got caught in a Peruvian necktie. So that's, some of you may not be familiar with that one. If you're not, I can show you a class or make somebody else show you. But it's just a head and arm variation, a katagatame variation where you're using a very different grip. Your legs are kind of draped over them, and you've got, your hands clasped around them, and you set it up that way. People who've been watching the stream for a couple years now remember Aiden and how much he liked to attempt those on us, but I think maybe he only got one white belt one time. What's up, Ben? Hook me up with some combat. Yeah, that would be rad. I think Mike and I would definitely commentate something like that. But yeah, so John lost this one via Peruvian necktie. Again, like, I can't take away from his opponent. I was a little perplexed why he was disengaging on the ground a bit. Like, he was winning the stand-up battle. So maybe he just wanted to stick with where he was comfortable. But regardless, his opponent was great on his feet. So props to his opponent for that. John had also put in a lot of work leading up to this. So it was he's still new to the school. I haven't quite gotten his whole game figured out. But it's he's a really well-rounded grappler. So I think he just didn't get to showcase himself in this match as much as he possibly could have. But he's got plenty of time to beat up on me in the training room. So I'll take Ben. You guys have fun. I do not want to catch Ben's warm hand across my face anytime soon. What's up, Joe? Just in time, big dog. All right, so moving on from there, we've got Baker. So Joe's match. This one was kind of a bummer leading up to it. We did a lot of prep work with Joe for his opponent, who really unfortunately had to pull out due to I think a pretty drastic knee injury, like I think ligament tear and some other stuff. So hope Kai's out there feeling better. And he can get better soon and maybe get a match against Joe in the future. But then his opponent Chris stepped up. This guy Chris Nava, young kid who is ready to test himself in the gauntlet of the adult divisions on the scene. I think he's 16 or 17 years old. 17, I want to say. So yeah, he stepped up as a very, very late replacement for Joe. So big thank you to him for taking the match. Let's zip ahead here. Get through all the walkout. There we go. So a familiar look from Joe here. Anybody who dealt with him in the lead up to this match. A lot of work on the feet. A lot of hanging heavy on the head. His opponent really liked that double collar tie snap. We saw him using that a few times, which Joe has an answer to. His opponent was just quick when Joe would try to set that up, which we might see from this angle. I think his opponent would yank out of that pretty fast. Yeah, really square stances. Which, to me as a spectator, if I didn't know these guys, I would say, all right, they're probably pretty purely jiu-jitsu. They're not taking a staggered stance or flowing back and forth between square and staggered and whatnot, as you often see a lot of wrestlers do. And they're kind of in that mid-range. They're not very upright like judo players. They're not heavily crouched down like wrestlers. Really great defense from Joe here. I was excited there for a second. Speaking of wrestling, let's see this again. Kind of a not I don't want to say not much of a setup here. I mean, like this, we don't have wrestling shoes on or anything, so it's gonna be hard for Chris to come up from distance here when he's only dropped. If he came to this position where's my pointer? If he came here from here and shot in with a little bit of velocity, I think he could have had Joe here on the takedown. But instead, he kind of just drops from right in front, and it's going to be hard to drive through your opponent and finish a double or a single in that manner. So Joe is able to snatch up the guillotine threat here, and I think just a week or two ago we saw. Yeah, exactly. We saw Joe throw a standing guillotine on somebody in the training room. I forgot who it was. But yeah, I thought we might see that here. Chris was able to get the shoulder off the back of the head, though, slip his head out. It took a lot for me to not be like, oh my god, from the spectator spot. Just trying to keep it profesh. Quick-witted or quick-witted? Are we talking about you, Cole? Because neither. Joe's down block with the right arm was quick. Yeah, definitely, and essential. Like that's really, before we get too far from it, that's such a crucial thing that I really like to see you guys putting into play here. This is why an upright stance in jiu-jitsu is not the answer. If you have a lead leg, keeping your corresponding arm kind of down, not fully down. You might have to parry a collar tie or whatever, but keeping your hand kind of below like your hip line provides this opportunity for you to shut this down effectively early, so you're not digging out of a bad situation. Head tap. It's being a little too agreeable with that overtie. Kind of just letting him have it, which I don't like to see too much. Oh yeah, he had a necklace or something on. Okay, not enough of a setup for the takedown. And yeah, Joe, I mean, you could see it now, just like seconds going by with this left-hand collar tie from your opponent, just pulling you around. Like in the moment, it might not seem like much, but it can really start to wear on you. Going to the double collar tie again. Right there, I think Joe was setting up his answer to that sort of a like sidestepping trip. It's like a Russian tie attempt there, and then the knee pick from his opponent. See this again. So yeah, really deep underhook. I personally love this knee pick setup. This is a pretty low effort or low energy way to hit a good takedown. You just have to drive, again, like every takedown, you got to drive through your opponent. This time you're going through at the shoulder line instead and just blocking them from backstepping as you drive through. So Joe feels it coming, tries to hit a quick turn for the Uchimata attempt. I don't know whether his opponent consciously stepped out of that or if Joe just missed the leg here. But man, if that was like just a few inches over, I think you would have gotten some height out of that on him. So I was bummed that you missed that. But now this is what we talked about, Joe. This is this is where we got to see you start working on getting moving out of here. Opponent sets up the back take, gets the hook in, and we start coming to the end. Laser, my man, what's up, bro? So the opponent sets up a kind of a high ball ride, only has the right hook in, but gets over the chin, gets the depth on the strangle, and catches Joe in the rear naked. Joe and I have I think all of us have, me and Mike and maybe Luke have talked about this with Joe at this point, but this is one of those things. This is what I think wrestlers excel at, is the lack of acceptance of this position, right? This is where you gotta get a foot planted, start driving up, start wrestling up, whatever. And it is something that you really just have to train. Like it's part mentality of not accepting being on the ground, not accepting a bottom position, and also I think Peters was talking about this at class the other day. Knowing which way to cut your angles, knowing which way to turn the corner around your opponent when he's weighing heavily on you from that front headlock position, knowing which way to sit out, which way to circle. It's just stuff you got to train. So I think I say that's definitely a part of what's in your future training, Joe, as far as getting ready for the next comp. Early stream today? Hell yeah, man. What you snacking on, Laser? Need to be more aggressive with the Bucky. Yeah, I mean, Bucky, honestly, so I'm glad you say that just before that settles into your mind. All bucking does is it's a very quick linear motion that only opens up your body to the second hook. So he can kind of swing his second leg in and get even more secure. I want to see more rotation. I want to see, from here, it's kind of tough to say. Any which way you go, you're going to open yourself up to him trying to get the other hook in, but you can fight that. You guys see me doing that all the time when people attempt to take my back. A roll is initiated, my knees are up high. I make it difficult, but I really just want to see you more either standing back up, like we talked about that in the lead up, where it was I feel confident in your stand-up game right now, so it's not accepting a grounded position when it's been done against your will, right? It's just got to be that wrestler's mentality of getting back up. But it's something you got to rep, man. It's something you got to work on. Joe does have a very chokeable face. Yeah, exactly. Not accepting the position. Teriyaki and French bread. Like it. So anyway, props to his opponent again. We appreciate him taking the match late notice. Definitely was a curveball for us as far as training goes, but this is the best way to learn, man. I think anybody who trained with Joe and John over the past few weeks could certainly feel improvements across their game as we put them through the paces. So that's really, as a coach, what I care about most with you guys. Onward. We've got Monday footage to go over. And I think everybody was just so exhausted from the excitement of the weekend. This open mat petered out a little bit. by the end. So it worked well since we had competition footage to go over first. Joe, fresh off of his comp, feeling pissed, angry, ready to murder people, decides to take it out on me, the cripple. We also got Ricky rolling with Joe over there. Shout out to Ricky if you're watching. He was gushing about the stream, which I always love to hear when you guys appreciate it. Yeah, I was surprised how many people ended up leaving a little early. I get it though. Not everybody wants to be murdered for an hour straight. So Joe doing well here. I think in my last couple rolls with him, he's really taken his time and trusted the pressure that he's imparted, especially this pressure, the shoulder across my face. At this point, as soon as I feel like Joe has achieved this on me, I'm concerned. This is where it starts to get unfun for me. Let's see. We got Justin and Caleb over here joining the fray. Andre and Pat in the corner. As always, if you guys see some stuff, please stop me, point it out. Great movement from Justin taking the back there. Yeah, 1,000,000%. And it really is this top pressure. Like still, I haven't looked at this for a few seconds now. Still, shoulder driving into me. But what has he done with it? He's worked to getting my elbow above the head and setting up a katagatame. So in a lot of trouble now. Starts putting the squeeze on. He's riding a little high on the shoulder, or I'm sorry, across my face. But he was squeezing the hell out of me. So I was like, all right, let's let him have this. I shouldn't say that. I didn't let him have it. He took it. But I was tired of getting my face squeezed. Yeah. So good pressure from Joe there. That was good work as usual. Did Ricky get a sweep here, or what happened there? Looks like looking here. So we got Joe. I'm not sure if Joe's going for Kimura or if he's got a grip on the leg or something that he's working. But Ricky is sneaking around the back as Joe does that. Justin, meanwhile, making good use of that rear position. Okay, that's what Joe was looking for. So he was looking for a toe hold, like a rolling toe hold there. So he's got to dive through on that leg. Looks like he's got a decent crank on it, and he gets a tap. Yeah, so for Ricky, now I'm not sure. Ricky's new with us, so I'm not sure how well versed he is in leg locks as far as defense and offense goes. Just looking at this, if Joe was trying to crank on my ankle here, he dove to the side across the body, leaving my right leg free. That's immediately going to get me, or that my response is to immediately start running interference with that free leg on the leg that Joe's attacking. I'm looking to I'm not kicking and stomping, to like get his grip off, but I'm getting my foot there, trying to push my free foot as I pull my attacked foot and disrupt Joe's grips, just to prevent. Because now it's he's got the leg bent. It's gonna be really hard to start. Well, it's not gonna be hard to start sitting up, but your knee is getting torqued. Your knee and your ankle are getting torqued. So your secondary leg is what's there to really help you in that position. Caleb gets out of this, gets his shoulders to the mat, starts coming up. Good head pressure from Justin to prevent the bull from goring him. Caleb nicely conceding bottom position. Pat's activity in bottom half guard to close guard to sweep. Not easy to off. Oh, what? He off balanced Andre. I need to see how he did it. So when I can roll with Andre again, I will have some answers. Okay, so Pat kind of working this. He's got the knee shield passed by. There he puts it back in. Going to close guard. Nice, okay. So we see Pat taking that elbow deep grip, not doing a dummy sweep, but something more akin to the setup of a headstand sweep, right? That grip under the leg. Trying to cut his angle. Andre says, no, these are my legs. You can't have them. I have plenty of them, but I'm not going to share. Looking for the hip bump. Constantly giving Andre something to address here. So even when things aren't working, that looked like it worked. Andre's got to address things that stymies his forward progress with his offense. And then this is cool. So we got collar tie. I believe Pat has a wrist grip on that far arm. That's why I think maybe. No, he doesn't. Well, if he did, he let go of it. And then hits a little scissor sweep action there. Comes up into an open guard. That was nice. Yeah, I agree, Mike. Just, Pat throwing a few things. Boom, 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 boom. Finally getting Andre over. And Caleb with the double Kouchi. For anybody who has ever doubted whether or not that works, this is what it looks like when it does. We had one of our, I won't name names, but one of our newer students, when we taught this recently during open guard, and he was like, I don't know about that one. And I was like, I do. And that's what it looks like. So I think you might know who you are if you catch this. There's a good example of it. It really does work. You just got to catch your opponent. And if you don't get it, it disrupts their base. It changes their stance. It prevents them from walking forward, setting up guard passes, all that stuff. So good move to have in the arsenal. Really want to rip off Joe's head here for squeezing mine. Can someone translate what Jordan just said? Oh, okay, thank you. I was like, stooled. Like Dookie? What are you talking about? Thank you, Joe, for hesitating on the double ankle sweep here. Or the dummy sweep rather. As I stood, I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this with my knee. And Joe's like, yeah, go ahead. And we laugh here about it. My knee was very angry on Tuesday for training with you guys. So I hope you're happy. What's Andrew on here? Looking for an arm bar. Mike actually sneaking his head out, leaving his arm behind. Must have felt safe there. Now coming out the back. Yeah, I only caught the end of that. Let me see. Yeah, it drives the, I think he drives the, oh no, the left knee was kind of in a little bit. What I like about this is the pressure he's got on the back of your head with the quad. Normally, I think the only way I'd improve that, Andrew, is I would get your hips over the shoulder, not over the head and shoulder. And then I would probably have my shin, ideally, I would have my shin on the back of the head rather than the quad. This is, I'm talking picture perfect, everything works out. But since it doesn't, this is a good backup. You can get somebody to rotate if you can tuck their chin into their head enough. Mike, I think, recognizes the danger there, so he sneaks his head out to get safe. Come here. Oh, got a visitor. Everybody's favorite occasional lapdog joining us today. I was so scared on that wrestle up. Let's see. I felt good about the trying to dig the arm, but you slipped your elbow out. And then I think Joe, remind me if you're still watching. I think you said you normally wrestle up on the right leg, so it was a little unorthodox for you coming up on the left. So I'm pretty sure you would have had it on the right, yeah. Sorry, real quick. What did oh damn, Justin's got a little head scissor action going on here. Looks like he's trying to set up the side triangle, but he's behind Caleb. So this is like a tough spot. Like I'll just squeeze, see what I can get. Doesn't really have, I don't think Justin really had a position there to strangle. He would have had to have rotated around Caleb one way or the other to get to either a side triangle or a reverse triangle. Mike and Andrew rolling through. Why did Andrew go down there? Okay, so Irimiyashi. Okay. Just a standard Irimiyashi sweep. No reap. Heel to the hip. Knee inside, covering the heel. And then Mike just pointing his knees out this way as he elevates his hips. Pretty standard sit down. An essential skill if you guys want to work on your leg locks. You got to be able to put your opponent down, sit them on their butt, and then you can make some things work. I opt to stand with Austin here. I don't know why. We got Ricky and Cole over here. All right. And then Ben and Andre. Justin and Joe. Joe trying to dig Justin's leg out here. Justin doing a good job taking advantage of the back exposure and Joe's lack of a connection to the leg. Got to keep that heel back. Really nice defense, Justin. Yeah, Joe was not far from putting you in some danger, man. I mean, he had a decent grip. Joe, the only thing I would do there for you is take a grip further down. Like, you kind of had a double hand grip, like, on the bottom of the calf. Go down to the heel or you know, like, ankle, anything south of the ankle. Then when you pull that, you're twisting on the hip, and that's a weaker muscle to work against. It's kind of like how we attack, you know, rotator cuffs up here when we're pushing the hand out. Same thing on the lower body. Been doing well to keep Andre at bay. I've got a crossbody ride on Austin, which I don't think he lets me do anything with it. After I hit him with the banana split last time, I don't think he's going to let me have fun there anymore. Andre, what are you doing, bud? All right. So not a terrible idea, Andre. Not the best execution, but you've got the idea of passing with the threat of a submission. So you're throwing on this attack on the headlock, and then rolling past. Another great option for a rolling submission is a Kimura from there. Just got to win the scramble, that's all. Whereas this one, you know, nobody really won it. You guys just kind of stalemated. Mike walking his way around Andrew's guard, making it look easy when it's not. And Ricky pulling Cole into close guard. There we go. Standing guard break attempt from Cole here. Let's see it. Got to stand all the way up. Who cares about this? Who cares about the hands on the ankles, man? You get here, all I want to do is see you stand straight up. A lot of times too, like when you stand straight up, all of your opponent's weight hangs through their ankles, and they'll open up a lot of times. Like, it's tiring to hold on to that. So you got to just stand up. When you're hinged over at the hips, it's too easy for them to hang on and break down your posture. Bleed every training. Careful with the cross-side shoulder frame. Cross-side shoulder frame. Oh, is this what you're talking about, Mike? Basically, been opening up his elbow here to the underhook into isolation. Passing that way, you can leave yourself open to a darce. When Andre went for the guillotine to pass. Oh. Let's see what we get good. Oh, right here. Yeah. So if Andre, no, that's fine. If Andre shoots his left arm through the arm further from the camera, yeah, it's Darce City. I would imagine Danny would probably look to do there. Great reaction from Austin. Stand up with some annoying head pressure, just rubbing his face in the poop he just took on the rug like a dog. And then he goes, psych. But I take his back anyway. Mike and I doing our twinsy impression right now. Mike gets it. Do I gets it? I don't remember if I gets it. Probably not. I feel like I haven't subbed anybody in forever. As I sub Austin. That's right, I got an armbar here. So Austin, honestly, like, I feel like I shouldn't have gotten this because of this connection that Austin has on my leg. I would like to see him either taking my leg over and behind his head, or, you know, which yes, it does leave him in, you know, triangle trouble, right? But he's kind of working out of a deep armbar right now, so I'll take escaping one and then trying to hit an early escape on another versus getting my arm broken. He could also try to turn towards me and like, you know, just hit kind of a kipping motion, pulling that elbow out. He could focus on this leg too and pin it between, or try to capture it between his legs. Like, he's got a few options here. He's taken away my cross-facing leg is really my main point. There I make an adjustment for it, going to this, you know, attempt on a 3/4 arm bar, taking my leg off the body and putting it over his neck. But yeah, I think he could have gotten out of this. This weird half guard with Justin. I want to work out of it. It's awkward. Yeah, so you're basically, you're just in a flattened out outside Ashiv right now. Yeah, it's not a a great spot for you at this point. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about right here. Yeah, you guys come back. Yeah, it's tough. From there, I mean, when I get flattened out like that, what I'm looking for is just framing, framing of my arms to his chest and shoulder line, trying to create some space and getting my knee back in, my top knee in this case. Triangling your legs there. I don't know if I could really say that's going to do much. If you get your upper body free, you can start inverting and like not inverting, but like kind of going down and trying to attack his legs. But you're kind of far from that at that point. Mike getting fancy. So Mike pulls in, hits a roll. Andrew's really got that leg tucked. If I let go, he would pass an amount. He might, I mean, like he'd have to crawl that leg over top of your leg. Another option is taking your back. If he leg pummels correctly, he's got full back exposure there. Certainly setting that up with the high ball ride. Inversion. Yeah, inversion. Like what Mike's saying is, let's find the spot. Where are we? 17 seconds. So kind of, if you got, we'll pretend like you got your head free. It would be taking your head down towards your knees and using, in this case, your right arm, so your top side arm, in Justin's right armpit as a cross shoulder post, trying to push Justin this way. That'll make his legs lighter, and then you could start to extract that leg that you're kind of already seeking, right? I think that's what Mike's talking about. That's what I'm thinking. The guy on the right quit. Yes. Yeah, he quit. He said he's too good at commentary to be giving it away for free, so he's only in the chat. Now that we're professional commentators, Mike's big timing you guys. I just want to point this out because this was, I know, every once in a while we have these awesome aha moments, and this one's so stupid, and I feel like it should already have been automatic. But maybe just like the necessity of me not being swept right now from a standing position is important to me. But Austin goes for this tripod variation, one that I really like. It's the sneaky one where like you grab the ankle under your own hip. That long leg of his is going to reach behind this foot, and then this leg of his is going to go to my hip. And as soon as it goes to my hip, I just hit a leg drag and pull it by and start to close distance on him, right? And right there, as I did that, I was like, have I never done this before? Like, all right, let me re-engage. He goes to set it up again, and I hit it again. And it gives you an opportunity to crowd into them and work a pass. I just going on the fly, I was super sloppy with it. But it was again, one of those aha moments where it's like, why am I just letting this happen? Like, as soon as that foot is on my hip, I need to rip it by, hit a leg drag, and, cup the knee, close the distance, and work a pass. And then I start talking to Mike about it. Andrew looking like he's going for a Darce on Bin. Doesn't quite get it. Bin wins the underhook. That was a great counter. I think it stays on screen. So Andrew starts coming up. We're looking to the side here. Bin gets behind, and what is the upper body connection he has there? He's got a tight waist grip. That's all he needs. A little foot sweep and takedown. I go over and yell at them to make sure they're on camera. because I thought it was going to be an exciting round. And nobody wants to watch Mike and I going over leg drags. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't know, Ben, if you're still in the chat, but like there was a time when you started with us, the first couple of weeks, I was like, I think like Ben's a great training partner. I think like he's being pretty chill. Like, but I was questioning if you would like turn it up sometimes. And I watching this, Mike and I, after we're done with our leg drag discussion, we were like, shit, Ben's turned up right now, man. Andrew just trying to whip him. Got Caleb and Cole meanwhile, and Justin and Andre. Great counter, Justin. This little step around. And Andre uses that underhook to get Justin off balance. Okay. That was nice. Nice little exchange. Justin making good connection with the legs. So it's going to slow down Andre as he tries to circle. As Justin tries to circle. Good adjustment from Andre. Got to keep that knee in. Oh, see him. Big reap here. Andre, I want you to be careful with that reap. Just as a beginner. Putting a lot of pressure on the knee here. And just make sure your partners are like cool with it. If that was me in there, at 100%, I wouldn't really care. See the takedown. Caleb looking to grind his way towards mount, being a real jerk about it here. Going knee on belly, making Cole suffer a little bit. Reverse knee on belly now, back to knee on belly. And then, yeah, I think Mike and I hollered from across the room. But just one other little good partner training tip. When you're on somebody's back and they're kneeled up like this, make sure you emphasize falling to one side or the other rather than over the legs, just to prevent any sort of like knee injury. Justin's fine here. Like his feet are tucked. This leg's free. That one's tucked. It's not a big deal. I just always like to point that out when I see it as a precaution. And I turn it on after this. Yeah. That's what you got to do, man. You don't poke the bear. No, you were fine. Like I said, you started to favor a side with that. I just want to point that out now. If you find yourself in that position, you're good, man. How did Cole get out of this? Was it a tap? Gets a smother. Okay. So you smother tap Cole, and Cole gets angry. But like funny angry, like silly, funny, happy angry. Yeah, no shit. We see him do the same one all the time, and none of you stop it. I mean, that's what, like, that's not saying he does the same one all the time at this point is not a dig. It's like, I'm going to do the move that I like to do, and you're not going to do anything about it. I'm telling you guys, what is going to take this away from Cole, which I know we all want to do, is getting better at hip switching. Like, as you find yourself in this position, you're going to have to scissor your legs through that fall and hip switch out of there. It's not going to work 100% of the time, but it will make that finish a bit more difficult for him. So if anybody wants to take it as a personal challenge to try shutting down Cole's Hitachi sweep, that's the way to do it. I still laugh every time I say that. Andre on an Anaconda here. Now, Andre, I don't know if anybody's gone over the Anaconda, like an an Anaconda finish. Um, he's like, who cares about your Anaconda finish? I'm just gonna hit the arm and guillotine. I just want to point it out now, and we could go over it at class for some of the details. But here, going to your back when you have this Anaconda is a great idea. Reason being, it frees up your legs to capture your partner's arm that's trapped, the one that you've got trapped up here. If they can get their arm down here, they're pretty safe. But you can use your legs when you're on your back and you have your grip locked up. You can use your legs to find their arm, pull it up, and now from here, they're in a lot of trouble, and that's where the strangle is. One of us, next time I see you, or if maybe Mike or any other coaches are there, feel free to talk to them about it. This will kind of fold in with what like Cole and I were talking to you about with that headed arm, or the katagatame, or the arm triangle, whatever you want to call it. This is a variation of that. It's just from like a different angle. So it'll fold in really well with that arsenal that you're starting to build with these strangles. And then if all else fails, just pick him up and rip his head off. So Cole got his sweep, right? And then goes on to straight arm. Wow, Andrew and Ben still having a slobber knocker over there. See if Cole accepts. Oh, okay, we're at the end of the round. I was going to say, is he going to accept bottom position after that smother? From the frying pan into the fire for Cole. Taking on another game opponent. Good takedown. Did you thank him? Pat and Caleb. Yeah, so this is a fun thing to have to defend when it's hard for me to stand. Justin opts not to pass, instead goes into the legs. And now normally from here, I always encourage you guys to not just boot your leg. Like, booting your leg's great. It can hold off some pressure, but it's not an escape. It's just a tactic to stop your foot from getting bent in the way they're trying to bend it. Really, I think one of the best things you can do, depending on the leg configuration, is stand. Normally, you need your other leg to stand, so it's hard to get up for me here. So I really focus on the boot and then driving my foot through this way and disrupting his grip so that he can't get that closed grip, bring his chin close to his hands, and then break my foot with his body extension. So kind of just take away the mechanics from him, and he opts to say, all right, I'll use it to pass instead. And I say, no, you won't. Joe bringing the heat. Making Mike roll up and working that single. So this is kind of funny. You guys heard me go on a friendly rant about where Joe ended his match with, being turtled up and whatever. Mike kind of doing the same thing here. just want to point out a few differences. So from here, right off the bat, as Mike hits this initial roll, he's looking for an angle right here. You see him start trying to cut to the side. He's looking for a single. Joe takes it away from him, right? Mike is coming up on the single leg here. He didn't just kind of chill and turtle. But Joe gets a good sprawl, takes it away. Mike almost going to his back, maybe thinking, let me work to a side guard, get my leg back in. Says, nah, my neck's okay. I'm not too worried. Even putting both hands to the mat, that's how unworried about the guillotine he is right now. And he's just looking. You'll see as Joe comes around here, you'll see Mike is looking for an escape path. He's not quite turtled up, head in the ground, waiting for Joe to run behind him. He's looking for the angle to cut. You can see kind of a brief frame right there. Looking for legs, looking to see what he can catch. He knows the legs are a little far away. Little check there. So there's an active game here that Mike is trying to play, rather than kind of turtling up and just accepting the position and hoping to guard up as Joe tries to go to the back, which he ends up doing, right? As Joe says, all right, front headlock's not working for me. Time to go to the back. I love it. That was what I wanted to see. I wasn't sure if you did it. You start to hand block so that Mike can't stick the hand up as you go behind. That's good. But Mike reacts just with basically turning back into guard. So both of you kind of concede. Mike's not working from front headlock defensive position. Your attempts weren't working from front headlock offensive. Then you guys end up back in guard. Good hand block, Joe. I'm glad that that's automatic. That really, really is important to see. Had to catch his legs with my hook. Yeah, exactly. Been wanting combat jiu-jitsu. He gets it right there. Big old slap. Box the ear. See it again. Some of Pat's Muay Thai coming in. I don't think he actually boxed the ear. Interesting exchange there. I rolled out of turkey to go. You called me out for clubbing. Well, I mean, was it before or after he clubbed you? Acknowledge it. Where'd you do it? You rolled out a turtle. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, so to your credit, Joe, you said this yesterday when we were kind of debriefing after the match. You were, when you were turtle up, I think when he went behind you, you for a moment were looking for a leg attack. I think you were saying, it just didn't come. Was it? I think it was you that was saying that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, the opportunity didn't present itself, right? You didn't quite see it, or you know, his leg wasn't where it needed to be for you to attack it. So yeah, I didn't point all that out that Mike was doing to say you weren't, trying to think your way through the position when you were there. It was just an easy thing to point out, given what I was talking about earlier. I know that you like to roll for your knee bars. I have firsthand knowledge of your affinity for that move, so I will never take that away from you. Cole taking the double underhook position, cutting this angle, and this is really interesting how committed. Actually, I can't even say Andre's committed. I think Andre can't get his legs out right now because Cole's got him in a death grip. Andre rolls. I wish I could see what Andre was doing. I think he's going for like a toe hold there. But as Cole gets free, he's got the back exposure and a quick tap. I didn't see that. Okay. This is a great example of, do everything you can to get your hooks, to get your seatbelt grip, to do all that. But when the neck is exposed and you see it, just send it home. Cole doesn't have any lower body connection. He saw the neck immediately vulnerable, said, I'm going to take the strangle, screw all the pomp and circumstance, and got the quick tap. Get the choke face. We'll give you a good high res screenshot. There you go. Take a screenshot. I think we just got our thumbnail for the YouTube video. Yeah, maybe. I might be able to do that. Yeah, I don't know. That's how you know you're getting old, Caleb. Is when you don't know what emojis. See, when they were a thing, when they first became a thing, they were called emoticons. And I bet you've never even said that word in your entire life. It's hard getting old. You gotta keep up with all these stupid new words. No, you didn't. Shut up. Mr. Bernoulli's principle and lift and all that. Right? Like, I kind of wish, I mean, the word makes sense. I feel like emoji is like a Japanese version of that word. And then emote is like, we just got too lazy. There were too many syllables in emoticon. Landline, yeah. I mean, are you familiar with the dial-up modem sound, the 56K? All right, Andrew and Austin on this little leg lock battle here. Just wanted to see how it ended up. So Andrew with the big reap, looking for the outside heel hook. Where's my pointer? And Austin not really offering a counter leg lock offense. Just staying. I think he's gotten really confident with his defense, which I'm happy about. Like, he knows when he's safe, he knows when he's got. So I trust him to tap on stuff like this. Andrew switching back to kind of a straight ankle grip here, it looks like. And Austin unfazed, willing to go almost belly down for that. Got to be careful there, though. I think if Andrew rolled with that, Austin, you may have found yourself in a bit of trouble. Now is on his own, Irimiyashi. He's got the straight ankle. That was nice. So big reap gets Andrew turning, and on the turn, this is why we reap, right? We reap because we want to get heel exposure. If you're allowed to reap, like in competition, this is why you do it. So as Andrew turns, that heel becomes exposed. Austin nabs it up. Looks like he goes heel hook, says, maybe I don't have it. Let me switch. And then, all right. Big props. I always point out when you guys do this shit wrong. Now we can see Austin doing it right. Look at this. He's got good leg position. Could be a little bit better. There's a little bit of a gap here, but Andrew's not addressing it, so it's not a problem until he does. Look what Austin is doing. He's hunching over, bringing his chin very close to his hands. Now he's got this. He has like a reverse, or I'm sorry, like a rear naked strangle grip here, that like this sort of grip, hand to the bicep, and then he starts to extend. Look, he barely gets any extension, and he gets the tap. What the hell are you guys rambling about? keyboard in class we were talking about how to make. Did you learn how to type with Mavis Beacon? Mavis Beacon teaches typing. That's another sign of how old you might be. I remember not having a computer and going to our yeah. I remember the first kid I knew who got a CD burner. I was like, that's not what they're called. That's stupid. Why would you burn a CD? It doesn't make any sense. And I was wrong. It's like everybody all at once going for finishes here. I don't know who to look at. There's floppy disk in a landfill somewhere. Yeah. There are floppy disks that are still being used on very, very old machines. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised, Joe, if you are not very far away from like a CNC machine that would accept a floppy disk. Caleb's like, is that the save icon? That's what blows my mind. The save icon is no longer has anything to do. Gen Zers never saw a floppy disk in their life. Andrew not keen on my deep half guard attempts here. Oh, we got Andrew and I'm sorry, Andre and Austin going. Oh, Andre getting baptized by Austin's triangle here. Yeah, Andre, if you just for a place to start in dealing with these triangles, you know, you look to stand here. This isn't terrible, right? There are escapes you can hit when standing. Problem is Austin has a ridiculously tight triangle. Like it's gonna be a tough one to get out of. I would try to stay kneeling, and just before he can lock it up, I want you to try working on just getting your posture back. You could drive your shoulder in a little bit, pull your elbow back, and just have like a proud chest. Make it difficult for him to lock up the figure four. When you stand and your posture's broken, it gives him everything he needs to lock the triangle up and cut an angle. And once he's here, there aren't many people in the school who are getting out of this. I mean, it's either floppy disks or cookout milkshakes. Speaking of, where the hell is Josh? Everybody needs to text him and tell him to get a friggin' GoPro and start sending us footage. I also need to stop attempting standing guard breaks right now. Yeah, and Dad'll be right back from the store after he gets his pack of cigarettes too, right? I'm not holding my breath. But I do miss him. You said what you mean. Yeah, he's on his way. He had to stop and get gas. So it's just the four of us training. Nice misdirection there, Andre. A lot of times, man, that's half the battle. Just like a little quick move, 1-2 around the side before they can react. You see Baker doing that a lot with his footwork when he's standing versus seated opponent. Be very careful though. Step in this leg through. As long as this leg, I mean, it's not like foolproof, but like as long as this leg is outside of your hips, you're okay-ish. If that leg is across your body, you're just putting yourself into a leg entanglement, which Austin is trying to go for right now. Yeah, so you're in cross ashi. You're not totally in danger yet because Austin doesn't have a leg exposed. Does he give up his own leg? Oh, you see it. You see a little toe hold. Like, what can I do with this? This is cool. I like watching you think through this. And Austin's just chilling. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't say you have like a traditional toe hold there. There might be some funky grip that I'm not thinking of right now that you could pull off, but the traditional, you know, figure four or whatever, or like, you know, Kimura style grip, it's kind of difficult from that position. Here you do have an opportunity on a calf slicer, but that, I don't know if you've learned that one yet. I mean, it's like that for a little while. You guys will get it though. I think the best, if you are interested in learning more leg locks, the best thing you can kind of do is just pick one and stick around with it for a little while. Looks like we got, what was that, a Darce there? No, that was the Anaconda. Okay. Cool. All right. So again, not the typical like leg assisted finish, which isn't what you did isn't wrong. I think you've got the arms to hit, you know, deep anacondas from positions that I probably can't. But that was good. You kind of, the way you finished it, kind of crunching his chin into his chest, adding that rotation and the squeeze into a strangle. It's not just ripping someone's head off, you know. Looked really good. Good sweep from Andrew. Tossing me with Sumigashi. Rolling through to set up the Anaconda. So I do, like, I need to do it personally. What I like about rolling through on the Anaconda, let's see if we can use this as an example. Yeah, so let me think about this for a second. So Andre's in a position I personally probably can't be in when I hit the Anaconda. This is, and I'm going to give full credit to his long arms here. And Joe, you might be able to do this too. When I have to hit it, when I go to hit Anacondas, I need every bit of reach I can. That normally leads me to a position where I am further over the body. So like see, Andre's shoulders are kind of over Austin's like mid back. My shoulders would be almost completely over Austin's shoulders in this case. Yeah, and right, exactly. That's what I'm getting to. So like from that position where I'm scooched up the body, you know, closer to a head-to-head position, my head goes to the outside of the arm, and then I roll through that direction. If that's what you're talking about, rolling through on the Anaconda setup, I prefer to do it that way. I think that's a good way to go, and it lends itself to that leg-assisted finish. In this case, Andre didn't have to do that. He had the grip. You could see right there just how deep of a grip he had on his bicep. That's a secure grip, so he didn't need to roll through at all, really. He just kind of had to get the chin tucked and lay the strangle on. And then, you know, his long arms combined with, you know, Austin's not like a huge dude, so it's easier to lock up his shoulders than it would be, say, Ben, right? That might be a situation where Andre has to adjust. think we already saw this stuff, right? Did we? With like maybe a bit of an Estima lock there from Andre. All right, last round. Got Andre and Cole getting after it again. You can set that up and either roll, try to trap the arm from the back, try to snag the arm with your leg from turtle. Oh yeah, yeah. That I straight up forget about that method. That's absolutely viable too. Cole trying to drag Andre down here. I don't know if I'll be able to zoom in on this well. All right, Andre going belly down. That's going to spell disaster for you, especially going against Cole. It's going to be hard to recover from that position after you realize you've made a mistake. You know, if it was wrestling, who cares, right? You just get stood back up and you want to be belly down. Just be careful with that, because you can actually really hurt your spine if Cole like got a forearm across the face and like picked your head up off the mat. He's bending your spine in a direction you don't want it to go. Could be a painful day. Putting up a decent fight here though. Good hip movement, getting your hips out to the side. I don't know why you tapped there though. Only because I can't really see like what Cole had. If it was just probably just a squeeze, I imagine, a good squeeze on the head or neck. If I had to guess, if that was the case, that was Cole trying to retain the position. I don't know about finishing. Yeah, I believe it, Cole. I think I've been there when what am I zooming in on? So if I zoom in, it zooms into the center of the screen, and then now you guys are like way offside. I might be able to. Hold on, let me see something. So I want to mess up my position. Yeah, this is kind of the best you're gonna get. So you're still way off to the side. Whatever. If you guys are good with that, I am, but he was belly down. Why am I zooming in when he was... No, I'm not zooming in when he was belly down. Unless you could tell me a good tactical reason why I'm not doing it. All right, so Andre in a good spot here with both of Cole's... Thank you for hanging out, Joe. I appreciate you, bro. See you back at class. Andre has both of Cole's elbows isolated up over the head, which is a great spot to be. And Andre, from here, like this is just going to come down to you like getting familiar with the position. I think this is where we stopped and you guys coached me through the arm triangle. It was after this. I cut out a lot. We had like that whole thing on tape, so yeah, right. Okay, right here, I think Cole starts to talk you through it. Yeah, what did you want to look at from belly down? We'll go back. If you put it in the chat, I can, a minute ago, I can zero in on what you want to look at. And that's not my fault. That has nothing to do with my internet, so I can't take responsibility for that. Go ahead and type what you want to see if you want to look at something. Yeah, so right here, as you guys start talking through the arm triangle, again, just to kind of recap the points that we went over, Andre, and for anybody else, Just type what you want to see, Cole. And by the time it gets to chat, I'll go back and find it. It's so simple. We do this every week. Oh my God, I hate you. Yeah. So when you're for anybody else who has trouble with this, and I'm one of them. This is not my strong suit. This submission. You got to think about what you're going for with the katagatame. You need both sides of the neck strangled, right? One side of the neck is cut off with your bicep. The other side is cut off with their deltoid and maybe their arm or whatever. So if it's not working, you could start to think, all right, which one of those things do I not have? Good first thing to check is your shoulder position. Are you just over their face, muffling their face? If you are, then you probably don't have good connection of their arm to their neck. Reason being, like, their chin is tucked. They could kind of pull their shoulder down and protect their neck a little bit. If you can get them up, this starts to open up their neck and their arm can kind of get in there. If you think that's fine, or maybe it's not the best, but maybe it's not the worst. Maybe you feel like your own strangle arm isn't connected. That's where you're gonna do what we talked with Andre about yesterday, which is you need to keep your head down on the mat. You're gonna open up your grip, but I don't want you like raising your body up. You don't want to give your opponent a chance to swim their arm out. You take your free hand, the one that is not strangling. You do a little V grip right behind their armpit. You push it up, so you're kind of like pushing them deeper into your arm, lifting their back off the mat, and you hammer, right? So like you kind of pull your arm along the mat. It's like kipping your arm across the mat. That tightens up the connection of your bicep to the other side of their neck. You then put them back down, go back to your grip. If you're using an S grip, try a gable grip. It's a little tighter. If you were doing a gable grip, try a wrist to wrist grip. That's a little bit tighter still. And then make sure, your hips are on the ground, your forehead's down, lay the squeeze on, let the strangle work, right? It may take a few seconds. And from there, you should be good. The closest it was only us training, but then realized you don't. Okay, it's okay. We're past it. Let's see. Hold on, I'm losing everything here. There we go. That's why I don't zoom in. I need to find a better video player. The one Mike had was pretty damn good, but I don't know if they make it for Apple. It was good for zooming, but I don't think it had arrows. That was what was missing. But anyway, yeah. All that to say, that's how you do an Americana. You just have to kind of know the finishing mechanics to troubleshoot it, and you'll get better and better at it. Andre, like I feel like we say this to you too frequently, but like you came in here with some talent, man. So as soon as you start getting these moves a little bit more and more refined, like we're all in a lot of trouble. So we'll keep helping you get there. In any case, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Can we get Cole as guy in the top right? Cole sat in for me on previous streams. I don't think I've ever had Cole on stream. Cole, we'll get you. You should be you should be the substitute teacher. So doesn't have to deal with the delayed chat. That actually, it would be. Cole is funnier in real time. Yeah, no, you're gonna do it. You've done it before. Don't be camera shy. I mean, you're like, you've already added enough pounds to you that the camera can't add any more. So I think you should absolutely get on camera and join the stream at some point. It'll be fun. That would have been a cool April Fool's to have like Cole, and maybe have Josh do the stream or something instead of me and Mike. That would be hilarious, intentionally or unintentionally. Anyway, yeah, how many cameras are on you, Cole? Damn. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it as always. Big props to John and Joe for all their preparation for the competition. Again, even though you guys didn't get the results you wanted, it's been a while for me, but I was talking with Mike about it. There's so much to be said about that lead up to a competition, how much you can grow and learn and develop. It's a concentrated dose when you're prepping for a competition and when you go out and compete. It is the number one way, I think, to learn some lessons, like to find the holes in your game, to find what you're good at, find what you're bad at, and improve. And that's all you guys watching the stream are trying to do anyway. If you didn't want to get better at jiu-jitsu, you wouldn't be watching us right now. So again, big thanks to all you guys, and big props to Joe and John for their competition. We're going to be doing commentary again for Blue Coast on May 25th. This time the competition is going to be out in Denver, North Carolina, not Colorado. Don't go buying your tickets yet. As I get more information on that, of course, I'll share it here. I'll be better about sharing it this time than I was last time. But yeah, no word yet on if any of our guys are competing, but we'll keep you posted. And yeah, as always, if you guys like what you're seeing and you're not following, please do so. Hit the follow button. We appreciate the support. Subscribe if you can. You can use your Twitch Prime if you have an Amazon Prime account to support the stream that way. And you could subscribe over at YouTube as well, where I will post this for you guys to review. In the meantime, I think we have a competition later this month. I believe New Breed. If you guys are interested, come talk to us. Let us know. We'll make sure that you are abreast of the rules and ready to compete. And yeah, we can talk more about the upcoming competition schedule in the area as well if you guys are interested. So let us know, please. We'll make sure you guys are ready for it. Anyway, go trim your nails and do your laundry, and don't be stinky. And we'll see you guys back at class. Take it easy.